Borden Zavila Marimbaja, Nazuki Bemeda Yula, Goran Jamugone, on the Koson, Yumujazada, so on the Kogi Longanjidana, the Yellow Majora, Gonzo, that in the Tangaji in Chenvepe. Zimbandova, Damjender, Yaya, Namaya, Dambalaya, Ganona, Yanga, Dovana, Namaya, Ganana, the Wagon Jidana, Tamje Geda Jundan Jorvai Yo Manonga Nonya Besenia Tamje Namje Tenji Deva Lana Me Bayon Dova Dova Yongi Jalan Gobaja Teje the Tajana Chun Chenye Juan Yomi Gone Samba Sonji to Tuki Banamji the Sands are so I think today we will have here a short meeting, very short meeting, and most of you are very fast beginning. We don't know each other. Are you joining translator?
Yeah, simultaneous, no problem. You can do.
You don't have to say, but you are simultaneously translator.
Yeah, I just.
Okay. Wow, very good. So normally, you know, students must know teacher, teacher must know student, and then not only knowing of the name or face, but also we need to know students' knowledge, and students also must know this, what kind of lama, what kind of lineage, what kind of practitioner, many things they need to know. But today, our life is very busy life. When the teacher have time, no time for student. When there are no students, then the student have time, no time for teacher. So this is like something we have little bit problems. In ancient time, there was one great Tibetan master, Sakya Pandita. May you hear if you are Tibetan Buddhism or you know more little about Tibetan Buddhism. And Sakya Pandita became very famous master and he well known in China. And then there was some certain people want to receive empowerment. And then Sakya Pandita says that, oh, you have to first analyze teacher for at least 3 years. And then students, they analyze teacher for 3 years. And then they said, yeah, we see this teacher is qualified. Then Sakya Pandita says that now I need to analyze students for 3 years. So eventually it took 6 years to be able to receive some initiation for teaching. I think today if someone says like that, we don't have tolerance. Today's people have no tolerance. The more whatever we think in this head, we want to do, not only want to do, but we want to accomplish. Like thinking, act, accomplishing have to be at the same time. As we like. If you don't, do, and you already lose your interest, lost 50%. And if still 50%, but then you act, and then the result didn't come quickly, and then you lost another 50%. So at the end, we lost interest, interest of the studying of Buddha Dharma. This is happening today. Am I right? Maybe if you have been 10 years Buddhist, maybe you know. and or maybe 5 years you have been, maybe you already know such things. But Dharma is not something like that. I think Buddha Dharma, we must have understand that the enlightenment project is firstly not for you, not for only ourselves. Secondly, this takes long project. Not only 1 year, 10 years, 100 years. Not only one life, 2 lives, but we talk about eons. Not only eons, but countless eons. Not only countless eons, but 3 countless eons. So it's such a long project. So if we already prepared of that in our head, then I think you never give up Dharma. Because even we do very later, that is very good. In this life, I have done something. I have next life. I have, next life. So if we have kind of long plans, I think this makes our path become very stable and also very peace and also very satisfied. I just read of today this words of my prophet teacher, and there's many stories of the Buddha Shakyamuni. He was in Helgeland, and even in Helgeland, it's supposed to be there's no time for Dharma. Supposed to be very suffering. But from that kind of situation, still you find very key point of the Dharma. And that leads you also free from Helgeland. Not only that, but collected a great merit. So therefore, I think if when we are in human realms, there's many ways we could do very good things. We are doing good things. But our heart, expectation, I think expectation, right? Our expectation is very, very high. And also our expectation must come very quickly. This is a big problem. If you have very high expectation, then what problem is that? Then maybe you're losing your hopes. You give up Dharma sometime, some point, because your expectation, it cannot come that quick. When I think you put seeds in ground, and of course that everyone that wish to have harvest, right? That's why you make this, put in seeds in the ground. But if you already know when you could harvest, then you are very free. But if you want to harvest tomorrow, next week, then you already are shaking, because tomorrow there's nothing. Next week is nothing. And next month is nothing. Then now you have stress. Then maybe you have also, I think not only stress, but may you have, boiling your emotions and thinking, okay, it totally went wrong, nothing happened, and so on and so forth. All this event becomes very sorrow. Even the end, maybe you get something, but full of this month, you have big sorrow in mind. And that is not good. We don't want to sorrow. That what you put under the ground was not for the sorrow. That's something that you want to just only harvest. But we need to be patient. You have to know this project, how long take time. And we must need to know what should I need to do of this. If you know all these things, I think you have very confident. And you can continue. I remember that when I was young, some people always saying that, oh, can you borrow some money? I will pay back in autumn. They're very confident. Autumn they have rice, barley, whatsoever. They can sell and they get money. So they have confidence. So if we knew the Buddha Dharma is, I think we could have confidence. When you have confidence, you are much relaxed. You are much aware. You have much peace. And path become very smooth. Buddha Dharma should be, path should be peace. Ground should be peace. Result should be peace. But do we have peace? This question, when you practice Dharma, do you gain peace? Do you have peace? Maybe not. Why? There's something wrong. I think, firstly, our comprehension is very weak. Secondly, expectation is very high. Thirdly, we don't have this tolerance. Patience is very important. And our mind is not peace. Mind is already stressed something. Because of this practice of Dharma, then it's no point. Dharma is supposed to be free of the stress, free of the emotions. However, Dharma, because of Dharma, if mind becomes stressed or something, that is totally wrong. So what I'm saying here is that I think today's people has no passion. As I mentioned, expectation is really high. Everything happening right way. That never happened. As I mentioned of the, springtime, we put seeds in the ground. If you don't have time for waiting for all the summer, then what point to put this? If you don't know it will bring good result in the autumn, why we work hard here? If we don't know what we need circumstance put there, how it will happen? So all these things are very good examples. So when we really, I think, study practice of the Dharma, at least we have some confidence. And how we gain confidence? Then we need good teacher. A good teacher is very important. Now today I see this many Dhamma centers. Every practitioner, they kind of, maybe second most office is Dhamma center and first is Thai massage. The many places, they are holding something and saying, I've been doing something. One way, very good. We need Buddha Dhamma spread and so on and so forth. But other hand, we need good teacher. Because if you really kind of the confidence is very important. So confidence has to gain through the authentic spiritual friend or gurus, and etc. How it happened is that more you hear of the dharmas, may you have very interesting, but if you don't get result of the what dharma teachings hearing, then may you lose your interest, your hope, your passion. The very attentive teachers, they talk dharma, and the mind is dharma. They act also as dharma. So therefore, when we see, when we hear, when we think of this, it gives some warmth, some coolness. So that way you get more devotion to the teacher, confident on the teachings. And maybe this really kind of give a lot of support. So if experts, when they're telling to us, saying, okay, you put this seed, and maybe in 2 weeks you put that water, or something, nutrition, after 1 month you do this, after 3 months you do this. If they say something, and we are very confident, because this man is expert, and you here have certificate, and Westerners, they really love certificates, right? And Eastern masters, maybe they don't have certificates, but they show themselves as really certificate. However, when these who have experts, when they're telling us, and your mind become cool, you don't have too much worrying, and also that you have some confidence that something will happen. I need only wait for 3 months, and so on and so forth. So therefore, the master must have, master must have. Understand? And there are many teachings. It says, we told master. There is no even name of the Buddha. Because 3 times of Buddha, it became Buddha because of the masters. So our Westerners, you have intellectually very intelligent. And today, the books are translating. Many books are into your own languages or general English languages. And then there is called ChatGPT, and they can tell many things. And there's YouTube, you can learn many things. All these things, we think we can learn. We think maybe sometimes, oh, no need teacher. If ChatGPT can tell everything. Actually, it is. It's telling very much. I think even like very, scholars way to tell it, for sure. But I still I think it's the mind transmissions, and also, seeing lineages. When we see the great masters, even way of talking, even way of looking, even way of the wearing clothes, even way of the walk, there is such powers which we don't gain from ChatGPT. And plus, is in Buddha Dharma, knowing of a lot is not that important. Knowing of a lot is not that important at all. I would like to say that one example. Please sit down, sit down. It's talking afterwards, Come, I sit down. Whoever comes, there's space, they can come. Or maybe you can come there, or give some path, and it's okay. So the knowing is today we have this chat GPT, and knows almost everything. You believe, right? It is. But there is no such enlightenment quality there. In ancient time, the Buddha's time, there was few people who really knows. One we call Lekka in Tibet word. Oh, please sit down. Or then you can sit somewhere else. What is the standing up here? Okay. And there's one called Lekka. He used to be Buddha's attendant. And then, of course, Buddha teaching. And he learned. He has sharp mind. At the end, 3 Pitakas. The old teaching is called 3 Pitakas. Have you heard 3 Pitakas? Yes, 3 Pitakas. He knows these 3 Pitakas by heart. That means a very big thing, I think almost ChatGPT, you could say. 3 Pitaka he knows by heart. There's no more, example of the high capacity of the learning. It's really, really learning. But the intention was not so great. But this knowing of the 3 Pitaka by heart was nothing supportive of the enlightenment. Instead of the bring into the lower realms. How it happened? When he knows more and more, the ego was very big. Ego become bigger and bigger. We have this problem in Western. We have particularly, East people, they know something, but they are very shy. They say, oh, I don't know. But I don't know is there's no problem. In the saying of the I don't know is no problem. But here, saying of I don't know is big problem. Even if someone knows and he or she says I don't know, then he think, oh, he don't know. But in Asia, I don't know is not true. And more who have I don't know more, I think they have more knowledge. But when we have little knowledge, then I don't know is become deleted. I don't know is gone. Then what we left is I know is left. This is very big problem. That Buddha's attendant is Lekka. This Lekka is, I should have known the Sanskrit, but sorry, today I don't remember. My head is a little bit full. So, but anyway, this Lekka. And then he was thinking that why I should be attendant of the Buddha. Because Buddha knows 3 Pitakas by heart, but I also know 3 Pitakas by heart. What he knows, I know. He thinking of like that. He don't think of what Buddha realized of the mind. What Buddha removed of the mind. He don't think of at all. But knowing of the 3 Pitaka for him is big, big obstacles. The obstacle of the seeing of the wrong views of the everything. And instead of I am something now equal of the Buddha. the Buddha and not Buddha is how much we remove of this negative emotion. The purpose of the learning Tripitaka is that free from the three poisons. And that Gelon, this monk, full monk, Gelon Leka. I think this also I want to tell you, many of our Westerners, oh, he is monk, how can he could do? But monk is nothing, It's actually really, robe of the monk is nothing. Name of the monk is nothing. Of course, this monk can do all kind of stupid. Maybe because of that he tried to be monk. But if he is already very good, he don't have to be monk, right? But anyway, this Leka is full monk, attender of the Buddha, who think that he lived with Buddha 20 years. And still, the mind was sad. And instead of more ego built. And then he was really saying that, oh, you and me, difference is that you have some light in your head. Buddha always, when the special something happens, the rainbow light appears in the head. Everybody thinks, whenever there's special something, or he did meditation, or I don't know, really meditation, I can't say it is because of meditation or whatever. And then he thinks that I don't have only that. Only this much is different. Other than that, you and me are equal. You know Tripitaka by heart? I do too. I so do. It's English, right? I so do. I do so, or what? The English. Okay, anyway. And then one day he left. He left Buddha. And then some attendants came. And then Buddha, what happened on him? What kind of he will, he get result? What will happen? And then Buddha said, I can't help him. And he will be born in Hangri Kosvilam in 7 days. And then that monk went back to say this Leka, please do some confess. Buddha said that you will be passed away in 7 days and be born in the Hangri Goswami. So you have been Buddha's attendant 20 years. No three Pitakas by heart. And now will be born in Hangri Goswami in 7 days. How this is horrible. We should go back and some recourse to the Buddha and something, can do something for you. Then he was thinking, sometimes Buddha seems he knows exactly happened. But sometimes he lies. Sometimes he say maybe it's not happened. Maybe, Buddha can change or somebody else can change behavior. Maybe it don't come exactly. And he thinks Buddha done nothing. So he was thinking inside, I will make 7 days retreat. Very strict retreat. And I will not die. And then I will make for him a shame, saying that he lied. He's saying that I will die in 7 days. Look, now I'm alive. He is talking like this all the time. That was his intention. And 7 days he retreated. On 7th morning, he was thirsty and he drank some water. And because of that, then he passed away. And he born in the Hangri Goswami. So why I am telling you this is that, sometimes intelligence, ChatGPTs, makes problem, build egos. So Buddha's teaching, whoever study Buddha's teaching, whoever practice on the Buddha's teaching, we need to practice all this all negative emotion. Today, as I was here, main focusing is that today, our Westerns, particularly, we have so many circumstances, as we mentioned, of the ChatGPT, YouTube, online teaching, or WhatsApp. There's many new books and things like that. So you have naturally some intelligent, intellectual, and when you read, when you listen, then we think, oh, I know this. There's many I knows are coming after one after another. This can make block of the genuine spiritual linked with masters. So we thought authentic masters. No question about the Dzogchen teachings, Mahamudras, Madhyamika, or absolute truth, even very relative truth is almost very impossible to really get some kind of spiritual blessing or bring our mind into enlightenment path. So therefore, if we want to learn Buddha Dharma, and we need to learn very perfectly, very authentically. Why we do fake things? It is wasting time, right? It waste our life. So in order to do perfectly, authentically, blissfully, then we should find the spiritual masters. And spiritual masters, is that easy or not? It's not easy. Today there's many great doctors, but there's also very fake doctors. There's very good medicine, and also there's very bad medicines, right? In this day. Likewise, there's many great masters, but there's also very fake masters. So it's very, very kind of, maybe you could say a little dangerous term or difficult term too. So therefore, we need some kind of merit. Do we believe of the merit? Accumulation merit is very important. Many people think wisdom is important, but I think without merit, even you have great wisdom, we can afford. The really wisdom, experiencing of your wisdom within this mind, we need support of the merit. Many intelligent people gone a little crazy, not very successful in the end. There's many history, like Western or very intelligent ones become crazy, not about Dharma thing. And some Dharma practitioners have become also crazy when you learn more things. So I think all these are the little bit lack of the merit. So we need, merit. The merit means something that really it gains through offerings, generosity, helping sentient beings, be kind to sentient beings, generate compassion, loving to sentient beings, and also respect of the relative too. Sometimes when we hear about something that absolute truth of Antony, Mahamudra, Mahashanti, then many people think, oh, this relative is not that important. There's more important. There's something. But I think we thought this relative. We cannot find those things. When they talk about emptiness, what emptiness? If there's no such relatives, There's no way to talk about emptiness. There's no common subject. So therefore, emptiness is also based on this relative. And as well as we talk about Dzogchen mind, and this Dzogchen is also, you can only recognize with this ordinary mind. Without this ordinary mind, you cannot understand of the Dzogchen. There's no way to introduce. So therefore, relative is very important. And through relatively, we could collect merits. And that merits can hold, blessings, realizations, and wisdom also used in incorrect way. Otherwise, wisdom can be sometimes, as I mentioned, the Leka, the Gelong, full monk who's servant to Buddha Shakyamuni, not only small lamas, Buddha Shakyamuni, not only few months or few weeks, but over 20 years, and he has wisdom, but the wisdom cannot hold his small mind, and then this becomes wrong direction. So therefore, belief of this merit, please accumulation merit, and that can help to find good teachers, good teaching. That helps teaching can melt into our body, spirit, mind. And when teaching really melt into body, spirit, mind, then it will be functioning. It will be changing of our body, spirit, mind. Today, if we really love to like cigarette smoking, maybe one day we don't like it. Today we are very much under of the negative emotions, such anger, desire, ignorance. But one day, desire become less, anger become less, and coolness, sharpness, awareness might become more and more. And that happens, and that we call blessed, And blessed can hold also with accumulation merit. So for us, many of us, we thinking that if we learn something, then that is the last thing. The Buddhism, learn is not final things. Learn is could be a support. And this learner of the education became support of your realization or dealing with your mind. Then this learning can become very good. But this learning can be, instead of the support, can be obscure. This learning is nothing. As I mentioned of this full monk of the Leka, his wisdom was just very bad for him. So if our wisdom, our intellectual wisdom, learning of the Buddha Dharma from book, from ChatGPT, from YouTube, if this become like Leka's wisdom, then we are very sad. Even attending teacher came to front of you, you won't believe. You won't test. You think that I don't need. Many people will be think that way. Really great teachers, when they appear in front of you, maybe they don't talk much. If you question, ChatGPT can be more clear answer than that great master. It's really, it happened. But ChatGPT has no compassion, no love, no thinking of benefit, and no lineage, no wisdom, transform. And we don't know that. We think, wow, ChatGPT is better than him. Why I follow him? This is happened. When the Mullah Rinpoche was there, Mullah Rinpoche was not scholar. That we know, whoever knows Mullah Rinpoche, he never been even kindergartens. He never been big monasteries. He never learned big, universities. He never learned anything. He was just, young boy who learned about this black magic, and then after he learned some meditation things. with very hardship. Maybe we know that he don't much get teaching from Martha, right? But he had realization. He tamed his mind. He free from the negative emotion. And then there was one guy, one Geshe. He has been monastery. He has been university. He learned many things, particularly, debating is expert. But these two things, if you education, intellectual education point, big difference. This Geshe is like great chat GPT. And then Mularipa was like really like old man. He could say exactly what you could do, no more, no less. But Mularipa was become very famous. Because when people see him, he don't need to talk much. But it gives, warmness in heart. Even say something. He took very little teaching, and that can help heals of the other people. So Mularipa is become very famous. And then this Geshe was very upset. He don't know anything. Even he is not monk. And I have been studied. I know everything. And then he want to make, one day he thought, okay, today I make Mularipa become like share, with many people. He want to, like Mularipa really kind of, people see Mularipa is a little bit stupid or something, and he want to debate with him, with front of many people. And then Mularipa says that, okay, we can debate, but I don't want to debate any just ordinary talk and ordinary thoughts. But if I really debate with my absolute truth way, maybe you don't understand. If you talk some relative, this just intellectual things, I don't want to talk. So we don't much have the common topic here. Then Geshe was really, he can't say much because he don't have absolute, experience. So Mularipa don't want to speak like ordinary, debate. So this is very good example of the authentic master and then ChatGPT. So it will be ChatGPT can be famous, but it did not give the warmness, blessing, realization. So then what we need? We need this mind needs transform. This stubborn mind, we don't make more harder and harder, but we need to more soft and soft. That is, we need the nectar of the blessing. And therefore, follow the masters are important. In order to having such great masters, we really need some merit. To really pray, devotion. These are the very important, I think very root and fundamental of Buddha Dharma is everyone needs to have or have to have devotion to Buddha Dharma Sangha and lineage masters and confidence of the karma and cause and effect. If we don't have this, I think we lost the 50% of the Buddha Dharma teaching, particularly very important part. So if someone has the confidence of karma and cause and effect, we could wait. I did good. Surely it will come good result. There shouldn't be any problem. Maybe not come this life. Many people really think everything has to happen this life. This is very big mistake. We don't have. Compare all the 3 countless eons. This life is like this much. So in this much, even something happening, there's not much time to enjoy. It's very short moment. So therefore, I think somehow like thinking that when they are lacking of the karma, cause and effects, how it works, how it functions, and many of us thinking that everything has to come right away. This is also one big obstacle. If something need to abandon, we think it has to be abandoned right away. That won't happen. But even we have such intention, oh, I need to be free from suffering or something. If you have a really genuine intention, I think that intention, only that intention, I'm sure it will be great support. Very much sure. Even have only the intention of, oh, I wish to be free from suffering. Very prevalently if we have such things. The power of continuation, it remains the life of the life. And the revenue of that intention, it comes, one after another, like a river way. So therefore, confidence of the karma and cause and effects makes also very much understanding of the Buddha Dharma. Do you believe that, or do you expecting everything happening in this life? Or if something not happening today, you think there's nothing happen tomorrow? This is many of our practitioners' problem. But it is not, shouldn't be like that way. So Buddha Shakyamuni is like very important Buddha, right? Buddha Shakyamuni is better than us. High faculty, lot of merit, tolerance. Many ways cannot compare of us. Himself saying that he collected accumulation merit 3 countless years. Do we have preparation of like that? If someone accepts that, I think we are very tolerant then. Tolerance, that you are great tolerance. You accepted it. So that way, maybe this negative emotion today, this week, this month, this year, very strong, I think maybe less bothers. But if you want to finish everything, this life, this moment, then even 1 hour boiling your negative emotion in your mind, you cannot appear. You think it's too much. But thinking too much doesn't go away. We need more calm. We need more tolerance. We need to look far. If you look only this much, then mind becomes very, stubborn and strong, aggressive. It's a big problem. And then, I think, once you have devotion, confidence of the karma, cause and effect, and find the spiritual master, and then they really, I think, engage it to the Dharma, then we need to know about these 3 Jews, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. What is really meaning of the Dharma? What is the meaning of the Buddha? What is the meaning of the Sangha? These are the very important things. In the Sutta teaching saying that even you hear name of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, that means you really already have great merit. Otherwise, you don't want to hear. But in hearing of these things, it has to be lineage masters. ChatGPT can talk those things, But ChatGPT cannot give vows for you. Right? So intelligent people can see things like book. Book can talk a lot of things, but book cannot be enlightenment. So therefore, maybe book cannot also transform to enlightenment. So great masters, they can be enlightened. They can also transform to their blessings to us. So as beginners, the refugees, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, when we talk about Buddha, and then people think, okay, Buddha Shakyamuni, or 3 times of the Buddha, Guru Padma Sambhava, and so on and so forth. That is true. That is also Buddha. Are they still existing? Historically, not. They passed away, they gone somewhere, and so on and so forth. So therefore, maybe we cannot say Buddha, right? Only we thinking of the Buddha Shakyamuni is Buddha. But Buddha is more than Buddha Shakyamuni. The really Buddha Shakyamuni is not someone who really born in India, who practiced 6 years in forest. He lived in 80 years around in India. He teach 3 wheels of the Dhamma training. He has a lot of followers, Ahad, Bodhisattvas. It's more than that. The really Buddha is the Buddha's omniscient, Buddha's compassionate mind. And that is something everywhere, all the time. The Buddha, we say that if we have enough devotion, and Buddha is always front of that, that means the really luminosity of the Buddha, compassionate of the Buddha is unchangeable, absolute truth, indestructible. So therefore, always there. To link in that, we need devotion. And then the question is, that kind of Buddha, how Buddha Shakyamuni achieved, where he achieved, indestructible of the wisdom and compassion. He found within his mind, right? But generally, that wisdom, that luminosity is all the time within him, not only within him, but this luminosity of the Buddha, compassionate of the Buddha, is every sentient being's really nature, then really nature of the mind. So actually, why Buddha become enlightenment is, the one reason is his nature was the enlightened. And his nature and sentient beings' nature are one or separate. But nature cannot be separate. Nature must be one. That's why we talk about indestructible. That's why we talk about indivisible. That was we talking about, unchangeable. So nature of the Buddha mind was there before Buddha Shakyamuni appeared as a Buddha. Or other way, what we could say that the Buddha, he appeared as a Buddha because his nature was a Buddha. So this logic we could apply to every sentient being. Why you practicing? Because my nature is pure. Now why I wash this cloth? What you answer? Give answer. this cloth, I think we should say is new, or we should say this cloth has no dust at all. That's why we wash. People, why I'm wash my plate? This must be pure. This must pure because it was pure, and so on and so forth. So similarity. Now, why we practice is that our nature is pure. Why we have hope? Because of this nature. The question, why, I will be attain enlightenment? The answer is because your nature is the beginning pure. This purity of mind in Sutta teaching, we talk about Buddha mind. In Tantric teaching, maybe we talk about Yidam deities. What is the Avalokiteshvara? The Avalokiteshvara is just compassion. The forearm is just symbolic. The Vajrayana is more symbolic yanas. You could say symbols. Forearms are just symbols. The yidam of Manjushri, we call Manjushri is yidam, but the really Manjushri is wisdom. Really Vajrapani is power that the free from the emotions, and other also can free this wisdom and loving, compassionate mind. So therefore, in Vajrayana teachings, I think this nature of mind is as a yidam, you could say. And Dzogchen teachings, we talk about luminosity, means that totally pure. Tibetan luminosity is called word sal. Word is very clear, like this word, which something makes clear. So more like pure. Sal is understanding. So luminosity or pure mind. The luminosity, pure mind. In the Dzogchen teachings, we use this terminology. We don't talk too much Buddha. The word Buddha is something pure. But in Dzogchen views, may they say there's no existing any impures. So therefore, we use more luminosity. So this luminosity is Buddha. Nature of your luminosity is Buddha. But then what is really Dharma? Dharma is supposed to be very antidote of our emotions. But genuine Dharma means also change. In Tibet, what we call change. What we need to change. Today, this mind is very into samsara. We are almost living on other desire or anger or ignorance. Is this nature of this mind? No. This is not nature. This is just, someone tried to want to eat ice cream, but they put not in the mouth, but on the clothes. So your clothes was dirty, It's a little bit like that way. These are like we call temporarily. Temporarily means like something, all of a sudden something happened, then we call temporary. Okay, you slipped and then you have some dirty here. So therefore, the changing means that we need to change. And generally we talk about Buddha's teaching, scriptures are Dharma. Yes, that is also Dharma. Why? Because with scriptures, you gain a lot of wisdom, lot of clarity, remove a lot of ignorance. So that way, the scripture is also, you can call us Dharma. But genuine Dharma is evidence of the our path of the enlightenment. And this is really contradiction of your emotions. We need to apply the genuine Dharma evidence life. Like wisdom of the hearing, wisdom of the analyzing, wisdom of the compassionate meditation, and evidence of the gaining of little wisdom. Evidence of the gaining of little wisdom remove of the sum of our ignorance. When you wash, you have to change water maybe 5 times. Washing machine maybe change 10 times, right? This is a very good example. So why they need to 10 times change? Every time this water can take some part, but not fully. In Sutta teachings, we talk about 10 boomings. And this is something, every booming removes something, and that way you gain some new, and that we call next booming. And that booming also removes something, and you gain some new wisdom. So this way, our changing of this mind. And that way this mind becomes pure. But more what I'm saying here is that every of this booming little gaining of wisdom is very important. That is the genuine Dharma, which is really contribution of the ignorance, jealous, or anger, and so on and so forth. So, in this case, if we say I'm a practicing Dharma, if we cannot remove of our emotions, then this Dharma is not Dharma what we talk about Dharma. There's something else Dharma. It's not good. So really, someone can experience of Dharma, or I would say applying correctly, then this Dharma of the every wisdom, that every wisdom is removing something of our emotions. And that way, then one day become totally pure. When the washing machine stopped, and that means no more justice are there, right? And that you call the everlast of the increasing of enlightenment, or this final achievement. The final achievement means that also when you really achieved of your own genuine on ground, on nature, then we say final achievement, enlightenment. So in Dzogchen teachings, generally in Dzogchen, the final wisdom we already kind of apply in this moment. And in the Sutta teachings, we try to purify in every moment of this wisdom. So these are the little too different. Other than that, it's same. But also, it's something very important to know is that Dharma Dzogchen is not important, but our mind Dzogchen is very important. And this mind cannot hold Dharma Dzogchen. Dharma Dzogchen is nothing for you. The Shavakayanas, Patika Buddhayanas, their Dzogchen, great perfection is the realization of the selflessness is their Dzogchen, because that is the highest capacity to understand. So that is for them, it's very great perfection. So here we're talking about Dharma, Dharma must be something like that, something antidote of the emotions. Dharma must connect it with genuine wisdom, compassion. So authentic, why we say I'm a practicing of Manjushri, that means we practice of the wisdom of Dharma. So yadam means Dharma, authentic. So then we talk about also sanghas. It's very important. Generally, we say support for practicing. Sangha is very important for support of the practicing. It is true. But what really meaning of the sanghas? Here 10 people together, sometimes hearing Dharma teaching together, sometimes fighting very small things. Is that Sangha? Or Sangha is a little bit more than that. The Tibetan word Sangha means ge, dun. Ge means virtue. Dun means aspiration. Someone who has very strong aspiration of the virtues, indestructible aspiration of the virtue. And even one person, you can call Gendan. And that kind of 10, 15 people around here is great support. But then another question is, how could it be aspiration, indestructible aspiration of the virtue? How can be happen? Like we are all practicing. Maybe someone practicing many years, someone practicing few years, someone interesting about practicing. But we know our mind. Can it be indestructible aspiration virtue? I don't think so. Sometimes we like a little bit lying, maybe not stealing because there's police. Or, we like many kind of things, alcohol, sexual, some sort of things. It's not considered virtue. We do like that kind of. We do also follow that kind of thoughts, by actions and so on and so forth. But indestructible aspiration, when you actually get, we talk about 5 paths. The path, accumulation of the path means more like a collection of the circumstances. I think that time, maybe we do not have such, strong aspiration of the virtues. Even joint path cannot be very indestructible of the aspiration of the spiritual. So only can gain from the seeing path. So therefore, genuine and noble Sangha means above the seeing path. What that means? Who really understood their mind is enlightenment. And when we have the nature of this mind is enlightened, when we have such understanding or realization of that, after that, this mind cannot be distracted from unvirtue or negative emotions. So genuine Gendan Sangha should be something like that. So in Tantra teachings, we call Vidadaras. Vidadara means who hold of the awareness, Rigpa. We have realized this true nature is the awareness or luminosity, and so on and so forth. And one have little experience of this, then we never let go that. We try to more engage in it. So it's very important to have realization of this true nature, this Rigpa. Why Dzogchen teaching is famous? Dzogchen teaching try to emphasize, to introduce this Rigpa. This Rigpa is genuine Buddha, this Rigpa is genuine Dharma, this Rigpa is genuine Sangha. So reality, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is oneness, never separate. Likewise, Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya is oneness. So therefore, the why actually Dzogchen teaching is important is that in Dzogchen teaching, they just emphasize to recognize the Rigpa. And then, is that easy? That is not easy. If this easy, I think Dzogchen is not any more popular. You know, already people think, yeah, Dzogchen, but it's not easy. We call easy, we call this is like not hardship kind of a path, easy path. Maybe compare others, can be. But still, to really recognize of the Dzogchen Rigpa. Then again, the question is how much you have devotion. How much we can see the great master as are like pure. This is very difficult. You know, once who say the great masters are just human beings, human characteristics, I think almost impossible to recognize Dr. Dzogchen. We don't have such, you know, there is, you know, there's no constant conditions are there. So in order to see the such great master as great, you know, this devotion, as I mentioned, devotion is very foundation. Devotion is also very livelihood of the tree of the livelihood of the enlightenment path. But devotion is also the ground, you know, very fruition. We need, you know, the fruition means introduce of the Rigpa directly in this moment, at this, you know, space. There is the lack of the devotion, there is no way. So therefore, actually, devotion we call faculty. Like today is faculty, the eye faculty. We thought eye faculty, can you see any forms, colors? No. There's no way. No matter how many people introduce this is white, but you can't see. This is yellow, no one can see. Right? And if the lack of the ear faculty, no matter how much sounds are, you know, singing or whatsoever front of this person, there's no way. Just only very sorry. Very much like that. The faculty of the devotion, if they are not existing with that person. Even Buddha himself came to you, front of you, introduce Rigpa directly. We cannot recognize. That is not mean that Buddha has no power, but we have no faculty. Guru Padma Sambhava appears in front of us. No way. Like Gelon Lekka, again, like brother of the, or cousin brother of the Buddha Shakyamuni, called Legion Devadatu, I think. Maybe Sanskrit, something like that. Right? Devadara or Devadatu? Deva something. Maybe Devadana, I think. Devadana. Maybe Devadana.
Lekka was Ananda.
I don't think Ananda. Lekka is maybe not Ananda. Ananda was good one. The cousin of brother. Buddha full time to find for win of the competition of, you know, ball and arrows. full time get good wives, full time get good child, full time he become full monk. He try, never succeed. He was very strong jealous on Buddha. He was a little older than him, Buddha. So he think Buddha is like younger, my cousin. He cannot have best things. He become monk because of he really want to be like, better than Buddha. but never ever succeed. So the lack of the devotion, it will be no way to practice the Dharma. So it's a very important part. The contradiction of the devotion, confident is jealous, proud. This proud is, we never know. Am I proud or not? Maybe you don't know you have proud. But I think as long as I think, oh, I am something, I did this, that is proud. The proud race of the, how could you say, or proud makes weak and weak of our devotion. So, actual that nature of mind is everything. All past Buddhas, because of this, they are enlightened. Present Buddhas, because of this nature. Future, every and each sentient being must be one day, sooner or later, must find the nature. Because nature is unchangeable. Nature is always there. What else is called temporary, relative. So whatever relative is not last long, not true. Whatever temporarily means not permanent, right? So temporary things will disappear. Cannot be last long. So enlightened and not enlightened is more like computation or not having not computation or computation of yourself, your soul, your nature. So in the Dzogchen teachings, the really Dzogchen practitioners, they are not dependent on the relative truth. They're more focusing on the absolute truth. When someone focusing Dzogchen Rigpas, then question, are they having emotions? Yes, they do have emotions. Otherwise, you don't need to practice. You are still practicing. You do have emotions. Are their emotion and our emotion are same? The master says maybe way of arising is same, but way of dissolve is not same. And they, when having the Dzogchen view, the negative emotion has not much power to create of the actions. They come, they go. Arising and liberation. So more we practicing well, the more faster liberated. And more became attentive meditation happening, then no any more power of the emotions. So this is when you really resting in natural state with instruction of the Dzogchen teachings. It will be happened. So, as again, that kind of meditations are not that easy. When we talk, very beautiful, but we need something as I mentioned, the devotion, confidence. And this is not easy. This we need to learn beginning. How much I have devotion to Buddha. If you don't have such devotion to Buddha, you know where to find devotion to the Gurus also. As well as how much we have devotion to Dharma. If you don't have such devotion to Dharma, you don't find also devotion to Rigpa, luminosity, and so on and so forth. So that way, to focusing Rigpa, not that easy. And we need accumulation merit and purifying of those things. It's very important aspect. Okay, I think maybe something like that today will be enough.
I don't know.
If you have some questions, yes.
Oh, yes. We want tea break or no? We do tea break?
I think now it's question and then make finish.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
that should be enough.
The küsimused.
Yes, kusumusu is very good. If you have any kusumusus, welcome. Without kusumusus, then also fine. You know, I think it's like this man is very powerful man, and he pushed me very hard work. You know, I giving teaching morning 9 to 12, and then little lunch, and then again continuously until 3, and 2 hours diving, and then he said I have to 3 hours. I said I cannot basically. You know, I'm really sick also. But anyway, I think this should be enough. If you have some question, I'm happy to give answer. If not, then we can do some dedications. Wow.
You have iPhone, you know. iPhone.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. No? Very clear? Looks like my teaching was very clear. Or my teaching was just to make confusion. So 3 jewels fully understood, then you are enlightened. Without 3 jewels understand, you are not Buddhist. So it's this.
Sorry. People is shocked a little bit. They get a little bit shocked. Now they thinking and asking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
I just got one thought now. Use every day like your next life, then you can do in this life already what. Or this was correct or not? no ühesõnaga, kasuta igat päeva nagu oma järgmist elu juba, et siis sa juba selle saad palju ära teha.
aga küsimus,
ei, mul lihtsalt tuli siuke mõte praegu selle jutu peale siin.
aga küsimus.
Okay, thank you so much. Sunam de namje zigwanya dana nimbe dana pamye jinshiga namje bala dubai suba solen dowa joy shanja zanjo rumbaje maje banam yejur Shiba nyamba meba yo gone gonda berwa jo nondra rizan langa chugungo Gudon ye ye rolwa jamle be zazon nanjur jembe nyamle la Yerme tukje tile roje sho Okay.
You
Whatever you now you're
No,
you
47, 47, here or big?
wherever you ask me I will do.
No, you.
You are boss, I will follow you until now.